angels, welcome to my channel for all my new subscribers, and welcome back to my channel for all my returning subscribers. It is 12:07 a.m. and I had to make this video for you guys that have signed up for my A-list. You guys need to join my mailing list immediately. Seriously. A screenshot of that will be on the screen somewhere. But while you are at it, also do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and also do not forget to turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every time that I post. As you guys know, I went live a couple days ago, and if you were on my mailing list, you would have been the first to know that I was gonna go live, all that good stuff. And also, last but not least, do not forget to follow me on Instagram. That'll be on the screen as well. And without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So, as you guys could see from the title, this video is going to be answering a couple questions for those of you that RSVP'd to hang out with me in my live. I really wanted to take the time to make this video for you guys because I know sometimes when I go live, it gets really easily distracting because of the fact that I have a live chat open and so many different people are asking me questions. I am dressed a little casually. I'm actually wearing my hoodie from track when I was in 8th grade, but I don't know, like I really like the color of the red on my skin and didn't really want to change. Anyways, I digress. Question number 1. How to be able to set limits when you are really into a guy. In the beginning of any sort of relationship dynamic, when you are getting to know someone, that is the perfect time to set limits. If he's going to, let's say, message you for a date, but instead he says something like, yo, you busy? And you're like, hey, no, what's up? And he goes, you want to just like go to a bar or something tonight? It's like, no, setting a limit would show him, hey, no, I'm not going to be available at 10:30 tonight for this last minute date, and you don't even message me with the decency of any sort of proper introduction. You're just messaging me like, yo, you busy? Like, yeah, I am. Too busy for this nonsense. As opposed to someone messaging you and saying something like, of course at a decent hour also, saying, hey beautiful, I know this may be last minute, but I was wondering if you would be free tonight to go to dinner. I know a great place that I think we both would enjoy. You know I do say not to accept last minute plans because really that is true, but sometimes for those of you that still want to go, focus on how you were approached and asked, because 9 times out of 10, if you're going to be slapped with a you busy, you are more likely going to some sort of local pub or something like that. Nothing of significance and importance, and also what possibly could be open of any sort of fine dining experience at 9 and 10:30 where you're actually going to be decently serviced and not rushed. Setting limits in general just means, hey, after 10 o'clock, I'm not going to be on the phone with you till 2 a.m. in the morning because, gee, I don't know, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. so I'm not going to continue to be on the phone so that this turns into some sort of hotline. How to get out of a rut, financial advice, money saving tips, how to feel like an adult when you still live with your parents. So this is a very multifaceted question. In terms of getting out of a rut, I would say try to find a friend that is kind of in the same space as you are in your life, where you guys can sort of use each other as a soundboard and kind of be accountability partners. You guys maybe have similar interests or similar goals, or maybe you guys have a similar work ethic. I think that's kind of important because sometimes we just need that extra push from someone. It kind of is hard when you feel like you have no one else that's having the same goals as you or whatever the case may be. So I think having an accountability partner is perfect to get you out of a rut, because sometimes even though you may have all the tips and the know-how on what to do, it's always fun and more interesting when you're doing it with someone else. In terms of financial planning and saving money, I mean, this is something that I still struggle with, to be honest, because I mean, I'm a girl. There are so many apps that are available that can help save money for you. Like for instance, Digit is an app that I personally use. No, it's not sponsored. I genuinely use that app. And luckily for me, as I mentioned too, my cousin sort of helps me budget all the things that I need to, because that is not my strong suit per se. Digit actually automatically removes money from you, sets it aside for different things that you set it to. So it could be a savings account, it could be a miscellaneous account, it could be for your credit card bill. And in terms of how to feel like an adult when you still live with your parents, if you have very hands-on parents and they're very strict, I think the best thing is to leave your house. I mean, that can be difficult now that we are in quarantine, but just sort of having a strict schedule, because our our parents are always going to view us as children. They're never really going to take anything we have to do that seriously because we will always be kids to them, no matter how old we are. So if you sort of have a strict routine of, okay, every day I get up around these times and I'm out the house doing this, or when by the time they wake up, they see you working on your laptop, whatever the case is, just try to always stay busy and stay focused in your zone and have a routine for yourself so that you can start to feel like you're an adult. You're just renting a room there, but maybe you're not even paying rent, but you're living your own life as if you were living on your own. You just live with your parents. How to deal with narcissistic men who keep coming back to hoover you only to gain attention and brag about themselves and their achievements. You ignore them. Narcissists hate being ignored. They are using you as a sounding board to big themselves up and make themselves feel better. The last thing you need to do is continue to fuel their ego because they want those things to be heard. I dated a guy like that where it's like every time we would catch up, it's like he wants to brag about what he's doing in his life. And like, I'm not a jealous person, so if that's what you're trying to do here, like, it's not working. So just like, be well. Like, I literally could care less. Genuinely, I'm not even trying to be mean, but like, I just really don't care. Literally just ignore them and block their number so you don't have to see it. How to spot good men, how to deal with remarks from people on your level up journey. When it comes to spotting a good man, first of all, we all are creatures that look at someone's physical appearance first, okay? A lot of the times there are always some sort of inconsistency in how someone is dressed. Now, this is the physical aspect of it, of course, but ladies, always look at their shoes because sometimes a guy will be dressed head to ankle, looking fly, and their shoes, something is just skirt off. Okay, those things look like they run in them, they work in them, they do carpentry work in them, they do construction work with them, they go hiking with them. That's the shoe that does everything. No, look for little things like that. When it comes to the characteristics, which is probably what you were aiming at, of a good man, you want someone that is patient, someone that is genuine, someone that is chivalrous, someone that is genuinely kind, and you can feel it. When someone is meant to be in your life for however long that may be, you can feel it. It is an inexplicable feeling of peace. There is no confusion. There is no, why did he call me every day, you know, when we first met, and all of a sudden he's not speaking to me anymore, and now he's getting busier and busier and working more and more, and sorry, I can't speak, promising to call you, never actually doing. These little things matter. Promising to take you out on a date, the day of the date, not even communicating with you at all. No, same job, same guy, he's just going around his roster, someone else is taking front and center. Those little inconsistencies already tells you how to spot out a good guy because that person isn't focused. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad, we're not going to demonize them, but it just means that that's not the person for you. So when it comes to finding someone that's good, you need to look at inconsistencies. Are they keeping their word? Because your word is your bond and everything matters, especially in the beginning. Also, I want to say as a major tip, what is their relationship like with their family, their mom? That also tells you a lot about a person. In terms of how to deal with people with smart remarks on your level up journey, I mean, those are just people that don't understand where you're coming from. And know this, in your life, you will be misunderstood more times than none. And if you genuinely believe that this is something that's for you, then you have to stick to your guns and you have to be strong in your position and know that what you're doing is right for you and be prepared to be misunderstood and judged and all of the above. It's just going to happen. How to deal with a partner that gives you the silent treatment. I wouldn't deal with him. I'm not going to deal with a partner that's giving me the silent treatment because it's ridiculous. Now, okay, realistically, I would have a conversation with that individual because silence is a form of manipulation. What it does is it makes you go stir crazy in your head, thinking and pondering of all the ways of how this could have went differently, what you could have done to not warrant that response, and you just go crazy in your head. It takes two people in a relationship of any kind. So if somebody's going to literally not speak to you, they don't respect you. They don't respect you enough to let you know what you did offended them, or they feel genuinely like you don't even deserve an explanation. You should go out of your way to figure that out. Of course, depending on the dynamic, is this person actually someone that you were with, or is this just someone that ghosted you? Because if that's the case, if it's the latter, leave it alone. But if it's someone you have a genuine relationship with, you were consistently talking to, then you are owed that explanation. But also be prepared that you might not get it. How to not settle and not over romanticize someone and fall in love with their potential. This is very timely because I'm actually going to talk about this in another video, so I don't want to go too in depth with my answer, but I have mentioned this before in a previous video. It is so easy to romanticize someone, especially when they ghost you or things didn't turn out the way you want. You don't have enough data on that person to collect in order to feel like it's cathartic when they walk away. So all you have is what it feels like, more good memories than none. You tend to keep that narrative sort of going, even though you're not really seeing that this individual just isn't right for you. So how to get your boyfriend to spoil you and spend money on you. If you have to try and prompt your boyfriend to do these things, wow, that probably just makes me question if that really just is who he is. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to be with anyone from jump that wouldn't know to do that automatically. Like, if I have to prompt someone and teach them something that I believe is fundamentally important to me, that's not really the person that I want to be with. So if your boyfriend is like this and you have to prompt and get crafty with how to teach him how to treat you, you may run into a serious issue here, because one of two things. You may have, one, not started out that way and secretly always wanted that but never expressed that, or two, he's honestly just going to feel like you're switching up, so he doesn't feel the need to do anything different because maybe he feels like you didn't start out that way being high maintenance. You probably map how you felt or change your mind simply because we are women, we are allowed to change our mind. This might be a serious issue. I mean, you can try and express to him, because this is your boyfriend, hey babe, so I really like these sunglasses. See what his response is. It could be, yeah, cool, those are nice. Or it could be, oh babe, yeah, those are so cute. How about we go to the Gucci store and go check those out, or whatever the case is. Like, kind of prompt him, like, oh, like, what do you think we go to the mall? I was looking at these sunglasses and they're so cute. Like, I want to kind of go check them out. See what his response is to that and see if he's engaged and interested in actually doing something for you. But I will tell you this, to be honest, if he's used to doing next to nothing for you, be prepared for some pushback. How you stay happy, what brand are your clothes and makeup? So, how I stay happy is I'm a naturally optimistic person. I'm stubbornly optimistic too. That's just the type of person I've always been. I stay happy because I focus on being present. I have very good discernment in my choices of friends and people. I have a good support system and a solid, you know, friend group and family. So those foundational things make me happy. In addition to that, I'm in alignment with my purpose. I get more aligned as I'm on this journey, and I feel fulfilled in what it is that I do. That's where you're going to find happiness. I'm very grateful for all the things that God has done for me in my life. That also makes me very grateful. In terms of the brand of clothes that I wear, I typically wear a lot of Zara clothes because I really like them, and a lot of the things that I find personally are good quality and very chic and sexy, but still very much feminine and my style. I wear Express as well. I wear BCBG. A lot of things I purchase also from Nordstrom. Like, in terms of jeans, I wear A Gold. I'm a jeans snob, and I like to mix up my fashion, like high and low fashion. So I'll wear like a Chanel bag with a Zara shirt or a Zara pair of shoes. I mix up my fashion. When it comes to makeup, I'm a makeup snob. So I do tend to like more higher end makeup than I do drugstore. Of course, I do have drugstore makeup, but I don't really like the wear of it. I guess all of me is high maintenance. I pretty much wear anything from Sephora, more on the higher end of things. That's what I genuinely feel like suits me best. Your morning routine and how you get a productive day. Now, my number one rule on having a morning routine, because sometimes I switch it all the time, is to try your best to not get on your phone. They say when you first wake up, you are more likely to be less productive if you start out your morning on your phone. And I actually find this to be true. Imagine waking up and you're like, oh, Instagram. Yeah, you're on Instagram, you're doing all these things. So I think your morning time is your special time with yourself to pray, to meditate, to just be in your zone before you allow all the foreign energy to access you on Instagram and seeing what everyone's up to and things like that. It's not important. Your mornings are sacred. Limit your exposure to those types of things because they do affect your energy and they will affect the productivity of your day. Okay, so this next one asked me a couple questions, but I'm only gonna answer the first one. So, girl code and how that affects your character, messing with your friend's ex or even casual sex partner, etc. So first of all, I don't advocate for friends with benefits. We all know that here. That is girl code. You do not ever mess with anyone your friend has been involved with. I would never even talk to the same person my friend has talked to before. I've never done it. It's not a thing for me. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care if you like that person a lot or not. Now, does this happen sometimes? sometimes, I'm sure. But for me, thank God, keep that away from me. I would never do something like that. I wouldn't want that to be done to me. Anyone that you talk to is just off limits to your friends. Mental health during quarantine. This is huge. I think we finally have the time to have the solitude to ourselves and really focus on ourselves and our own goals. So take this time, have solitude. I am very big on this. My friends know this. My friends all respect my space. There are times where I just need to recharge. I need solitude. I need to be by myself. I don't want to communicate with anyone like that. It's nothing personal. It's just what I need to do to make sure that I'm healthy, and this is how I regroup. I sometimes get very overly stimulated because of social media and just what I do in general. I take on a lot, and sometimes I just need space to just recharge. So take whatever time you need to really just work on yourself, journaling, focus on your mental health during this time. And I know some people say that they're really depressed and things, and you'll be surprised what just going outside for a walk in the sun could do to you. It's literally a free, happy, I guess, drug per se, and it really uplifts your mood and your spirit. Just walking outside in nature, maybe even going for a bike ride, just get outside, open your windows if you don't feel like going outside, and just letting the sun in. Skincare during quarantine, I would say now is also the perfect time to work on your skin. I mean, you don't have to show up to work and do your makeup all the time. I think it's still a great idea to do your makeup and experiment with different makeup looks. However, I understand that for the days that we don't want to wear makeup or what have you, do a face mask, okay? There are so many videos on YouTube where you can do a pampering sort of day or whatever the case is. Just do that to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel better putting in the effort than you would if you didn't. And lastly, what would you tell your younger self going for your goals, and how did you start? So the thing that I would tell my younger self is everything happens for a reason, and it'll all make sense, and everything is going to be okay. Because I definitely have this anxiety of thinking, oh my gosh, where's my life going? What does this mean? I'm a very serious-minded person when it comes to my career. I mean, I always have been, so it definitely is a bumpy transition. And I also would tell myself that certain struggles you can't skip. There are going to be certain things that you're going to go through, Asha. The only way out is through. And when you are going through it, you are going to grow through it as well, and it'll all make sense in the end. I promise. That's what I would tell myself, because I think just being on the journey, trying to figure yourself out, it's so confusing, and you just want answers, and sometimes it just feels like no one has it for you. Depending on what your calling is and how great it may be, because everybody has their niche, it takes a lot of self-awareness, and sometimes people want things so bad that is not for them. People want to open doors that are not their door, and in this process of aligning with yourself and finding your purpose, you really got to focus on what feels like second nature to you, and really be honest, like, is this really going to work for me? Does this really make me happy, or is this something that people say I should do, so I'm gonna do it? And there may be times where you experiment with what people say you should do, and you do it, and you don't like it, and so what? You move on. You live, you learn. That's the only way through it. In terms of going for my goals, I have always been pretty much goal-oriented. I've always been a planner. I've always had a planner. I like to write down my goals. I believe in the law of attraction. I incorporated a vision board into my life. I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago now, that I started actively making vision boards. In terms of how I started, I'm not really sure what you mean with how I started with YouTube, or specifically what you mean. How I started becoming this way, I guess, is it's always just been an interest of mine. Like, pay attention to what you naturally gravitate toward. I naturally gravitated towards people that are transformative speakers, motivational speakers, people that have an inspiring journey. I found myself searching on YouTube how YouTube changed my life, or how my life changed for the better, or the morning routines of successful people, things like that. I naturally gravitated towards that. I naturally gravitated towards holistic nutrition and things like that. So this is all a part of me. These are all micro decisions that I was making that have planted and rooted itself into my actual being. So that's pretty much how I guess started with all this stuff. It just came to my head one day. I always try to search for a positive outlet for my feelings and things like that. So yes, that is the end of this video, guys. I hope that I answered some of the good questions that you guys have asked me. There will be plenty more chances to submit questions to me. Again, if you sign up for my mailing list, I will do another video like this. With that being said, do not forget that I love you and God loves you, and I will see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.